special episode edition of the Tangent Podcast. Last week, we were in Denver, Colorado for CrimeCon 2025. And today on this video, we will take you behind the scenes to show you what happened, what didn't happen, what you missed, and what will be in store when you go out to Vegas in 2026 for CrimeCon. I am Vinnie Politan, host of Closing Arguments with Vinnie Politan and the host of Vinnie Politan Investigates. Do you notice a theme there? I'm on Court TV every night from 8 to 10 p.m., giving you 2 hours of live true crime. And then together with on this Tangent Podcast, at least once a week. And also live streaming in other random times. With me, Al Wunsch III.
Hola, Tangenistas.
And the radio legend, the one and only Jonesy.
Greetings from Asbury Park, New Jersey.
All right, buckle your seatbelts. This is going to be a little different than most. I don't know where we're going to end up today, but we begin with the Tangent Podcast theme song.
Vinnie and the Tangents, True Crime Podcast. Vinnie has the blue eyes, Al cracks the jokes. Jonesy stays behind his shades, entertaining all folks. It's Vinnie and the Tangents, True Crime Podcast. Load up all your comments, hit those super chats. Let's go smash that like button, so we can all have a blast. Vinnie, Al, and Jonesy on the job. They're the Sugar Hill Gang of true crime. They're telling stories of days gone by. They take crime and turn into a good old time. It's Vinnie and the Tangents, True Crime Podcast.
It's the song you usually only hear on a Friday, but it's a Saturday morning when, if you go back in time, we'd all be watching cartoons.
I was just thinking that, yeah.
Right? Like, there were no cartoons except on Saturday morning. Maybe you get a few reruns other times, but that was the day. It was a big day.
I was mostly a CBS guy.
I used to like the Scooby-Doo, Globetrotters.
Sure, Globetrotters.
Remember the Globetrotters had a cartoon?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. They had a cartoon.
Yeah. So here we are back from CrimeCon. And I'll tell you this. It was amazing, number one. But number two, I was so exhausted all week.
Oh, tell me about it.
I was so tired. And I was trying to figure, like, why was I so tired? It's a little bit of traveling, a little bit of, Denver, the what do they call that? The altitude, maybe just working and then working all weekend. But I was exhausted. Were you?
Well, it's like long distance driving. I mean, we were constantly on the go, like while we were there. So we weren't doing anything physical, but somehow that tires you out. Albert, I think you need some more volume on your mic.
Really? Mic's not loud enough? Is that okay?
Oh, wait a second. Audio is very echoing. I have to do something. 1 second. I have to fix the audio. Wait a second. The audio should be fixed.
Okay. Is that better?
I think so.
Okay. You guys can hear me?
I can hear you, but it's the audio that's going out to the people. To the people.
Okay. What do you people? If you can hear me, yell. That would be fun in their house, right?
I think we're in a
But
better
you know what?
spot
Can I
now.
just say one thing from a historical standpoint, because you just brought this up. On this day, because I knew I remembered this, in 1969, Scooby-Doo premiered.
Really?
Wait a minute. Are you serious?
Wait a minute. I am absolutely
Civil
positive.
War to civil rights and all the revolution fights. World War I and World War II. Al always knows who is who. It's this day in history. This day in history. History. Now let's listen to his story.
So 1969 was Scooby-Doo?
Scooby-Doo premiered on this day in 1969. Also on this day in 1990, Law and Order premiered for the first time.
Wow.
Two big
35 years, and it's still
on
going, and they have more.
September 13th. September 13th, 1814. During the War of 1812, Francis Scott Key, who we talked about yesterday, son,
Songwriter.
witnessed the bombardment of Baltimore and was inspired to write a poem that later became the Star-Spangled Banner. On this day, he watched the bombing of Fort McHenry. If you ever go to Baltimore, go to the Inner Harbor, go to Fort McHenry. It's a very incredible experience. They have the original flag that was flying over Fort McHenry that he was watching as the rockets' red glare were bursting in air.
Wow.
And they show you that flag for about a minute because they obviously don't want it to have any more exposure than necessary. So that's
Wait. Let's review here. Scooby-Doo, Law and Order, and the Star-Spangled Banner. That's nuts.
And on this day, while we're on television for true crime, and we covered this case, this was the 1978 was the episode on the dating game between Rodney Alcala and Cheryl Bradshaw.
Oh, the serial dater.
A serial dater. So that game was on 9/13/1978. In 1936, Murder Incorporated on the orders of Lemke Buckhalter, Louis Lemke Buckhalter,
Yeah.
executed a candy store owner by the name of Joe Rosen in Brooklyn because he had disrespected Buckhalter. And this led to the Lemke arrest along with two others, and they would depend on the same day in Sing Sing. And it's the first time and the only time in history that a mafia chieftain was executed by the United States.
Wow.
So that is a result of that there. And also on this day, in a case that we also covered, going back to our older shows. So if you take a look, Vinny has them up there, and you can go back and look. On this day in 1921, Fatty Arbuckle was indicted for the manslaughter death of Virginia Rapay. It was a situation where she was in a party with him. They alleged that he had tried to have intercourse with her, and he was so big that he crushed her. They charged him originally with murder and red rum, but then they indicted him for manslaughter, and he was tried 3 times. First 2 times, the jury was unable to come up with a verdict. Third time, he was acquitted with an apology. As a result, his career was destroyed. This man, back in 1918, was being paid $1 million a year for the films that he was making.
Wow.
That's how incredible of a performer he was, and his career destroyed. Finally, in Rev War history, on this day in 1776, Washington, in light of what's happened in New York, he's having trouble. His men are getting all disheartened. Sends out a general order to try to get back the morale, to try to get back to discipline, and get the army reorganized. And he's able to do that. They leave New York. Unfortunately, they made the decision that they were going to abandon New York. They did. The colonies were unable to, and the Americans were unable to get back New York for another 8 years. But this day, that general order is what got the army motivated to move forward and defeat the British ultimately. That's it in history.
Wow.
But
I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. Law and Order for me is a big deal. And, for one part of my life, and Scooby-Doo is a big part for another part of my life. And obviously the Star Spangled Banner is, the song, right?
Yeah. And stories that we have also touched. I mean, we did a whole thing on game show Red Rummers, and and so how ironic today is the day, that show showed up back in 1978, and yeah, it's a fun day, September 13th.
If it's performed well, I often well up at the part about from the ramparts we watched. I get a little misty.
Yeah.
Powerful.
Well, he was a prisoner. So Francis Scott Key was a lawyer, and he was captured because they thought he was a spy.
He's
The
a
British-
liar. He was a liar.
He was a lawyer. Okay. And he was on a ship, and they were bombarding Baltimore. It was a horrendous thing. They had, this was the first time that the White House had been stormed by troops. The British had come in. Dolly Madison was famous for taking out the paintings and all of the artwork from the White House to save it so that the British weren't going to be able to plunder it and destroy it. And, things were looking bleak. And then he's sitting there watching this, and the flag is still there. And that just touched him greatly. He wrote this down, and eventually it became a Star Spangled Banner. So that is our day in history, folks.
Fantastic. What I wanted to do, because we have some images and videos and everything to show you from this amazing trip. I'm just looking for something real quick. I'm trying.
Well, you're looking. Can I just throw out there that every person we met was wonderful.
Yes.
Absolutely wonderful. And I will tell you that I made so many friends. And I wish you all lived closer. Okay. Because, it was just such nice opportunity to interact. And one of the comments that we got, Jonesy and Vin, was that when we went to see that comedy show, and we were sitting there, and then there was a young lady behind us who made a comment about us being like the Three Stooges or something like that, which was in good spirit. And then we got up and left. She thought we were insulted by that term. I said,
"Oh, really?"
Yeah. So I wrote back to her, and I said, "Listen, we were just hungry. Okay, we had to meet people for dinner, and we had a dinner reservation, and we didn't expect that it was going to take that long for this thing to start.
Yeah.
So we had to get up and we had to go. So
we were also like pretty close up in the center, and we felt as though if we stayed for 10 minutes, which is all we could spare of the performance, it would look bad that we got up and walked away on the performer,
Right. And it's a tremendous show. It's the Wisecrack show. It's supposed to be amazing, but it conflicted with food.
Yeah. and we were also meeting people.
And we had commitments, but it also conflicted with food.
Yes.
Deadlines and commitments.
Well, the thing about CrimeCon is the schedule. You're running from here to there. You're at the table. You're in the booth. You're on the stage. You're doing a show. That taking time to eat is you have to make the time to eat because there's so much going on. And that particular day, I had just a little bit, and I had enough to get me through the afternoon, but I really hadn't eaten food. I'd just eaten things to make sure my blood sugar wouldn't crash while I was on stage. So I had just different forms of glucose, which is, but you got to do what you got to do. That was the night where I'm going to eat. And so we ate. So let's do this. I want to get right to this. We will start with a video. Like everything else, I got to track it down here. 1 second.
Let's go to the videotape.
Let's go to the videotape so you have a little bit of an idea of what happened, and then we'll talk about different things that pop up through the video after we watch it. So let's do that. You get comfortable, folks. Get comfortable. Let me see.
And then later, I actually put together the top 10 questions that we were asked at CrimeCon. I put that list together, and so at some point we can go over that because I kept tabulations. See, this is the kind of thing I do. As a historian, you have to sit there and you have to try to, take down the history that you're experiencing. And so these were the top 10 questions. So later on, we'll go into that.
All right. Y'all ready for this?
Oh, absolutely.
Let me set the screen properly.
Oh, no,
Let me set the screen up. I don't want anyone to miss a moment of this amazing thing. I got to take Al out of there, the history. I'm going to remove the history. And we are going to I will present to you, ladies and gentlemen, our first visual presentation. Please stand by. I just didn't have enough time to completely organize because I was gathering all these elements. Merch, no special.
That's a prominent line in the song Slim Shady. Please stand by.
Please stand by. Please stand by. Here we go.
Here we are, folks, behind the scenes, the setup of the tangent table. There's Al and Jonesy trying to figure out how to hang the banner up. Al, is this your first hanging?
No.
It's her first hanging.
All right, why don't we freeze it there? So you guys were basically in charge of decorating the table and the booth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Explain your strategy here.
My strategy
Al did all the work.
my strategy was not to fall to my death.
Yeah.
That was the strategy I was trying to achieve at that point. You get there and there's a backdrop. There is all this stuff that we've been carting. I literally carted, I think, 73 pounds of candy from New Jersey. And I mean, boy, were my arms tired. And now we're here. And of course, we had this banner that needed to be hung up there. Now, we didn't bring anything that we needed to be able to hang anything. We just brought stuff. So we found the clips that were up there. We stole clips from other booths. And then we put this banner up. So that's what it was the thing. Jonesy was able to secure a ladder, okay, that was from...
How did you get the ladder, Jonesy, without...
So, well, I asked a gentleman if we could use his ladder. He was, very nice, as all the fellow people on Creators Row. But he came back the next day and he looked at our candy. He said, "I lent you my ladder. Can I have some candy?" So it was an easy deal because the candy was free anyway.
Right. There's something with a ladder. So, we were saying, because there was a lot of confusion about the different badges that you have and what you can have access to. So our backup plan was to use that ladder, because if you walk into any room, guys carrying a ladder, no one's ever going to stop you.
Right.
Yes.
Right. You could walk into the Super Bowl. Like if you've got a ladder, no one's going to question you. Oh, this guy's got a ladder.
And just so you know, so Vinny had like 73 tags. I mean, he looked like General Omar Bradley with all the brass he had, with all these tags in front of him. Jonesy and I had a tag that we actually had to pay to use the men's room. Okay.
It was only 25 cents in those little coin-operated machines.
That ought to tell you the level of importance that Jonesy and I had. Okay. Not only the guys that worked carrying the ladders were laughing at us. That's how bad it was with our tag that we had.
Did those bathrooms have vibrating toilet seats for you?
No, they did not. I can tell you this, but when you have to have 3 in a stall, it can be very messy.
All right, let's continue with our tour. And this is Creator Row. So the way it's set up is there are breakout rooms. Some are really large, some are a little bit smaller. They can hold anywhere from several hundred to several thousand people for different presentations. And those are like stage presentations. Then they have a room like this where you have a series of booths. Is it booths or booths?
No, we went through that whole thing.
I went with booths.
It's booths. BOOTHS, booths.
It's booths. Like not booths.
Right.
Yeah, but I would pronounce it booths.
More than one assassin of Abraham Lincoln is John Will Booths.
Booth. Okay. So you have a combination. So you have some of the exhibitors, the big companies, Court TV, some of the DNA people, Missing and Exploited Children organization. They have these big booths. And then you have Creator Row, which is like folks who are doing podcasts and live streamers. And you get tables. And there's a whole bunch of them. So you have someone next to you, they're doing something, the person next to you is doing something, you go over, other people there, and some people have ones that are a little bit bigger, like Annie Elise had a nice setup. Who else? I saw Murder Sheet was there. Courtroom Confidential. Crime Week Daily had really more of an exhibit than a table, and they had a big setup. They won at the awards as Creators of the Year, so I guess they're very, very, very popular now. And I got to meet Stephanie Harlow when we were in the green room signing programs, and she was very, very nice. I didn't meet her partner, Derek. But so we're on the row here, but the row also consists of us and the creators, which you'll see in one of the videos here. And this is the first day. We're like one of the first people there, by the way.
Right. Well, Jonesy and I got there at 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah, we're like the Marines.
That's right.
All right, we'll see if they can get it done, folks. Morning. Morning.
The belly of the beast, the exhibit hall, creator row, the green carpet. The quiet before the storm.
So from here, you can see some of the organizations have very large setups. Like some of them have living rooms and couches and all this setup, big monitors, fancy carpet, and we'll continue our tour.
And right around the corner, on the way to the women's room, is the Tangent True Crime
Greetings. Good morning.
Podcast.
So that's our setup, which I thought was nice. You know, we had a little flair, right? We've got our branding. We had a wheel that we would spin for people to win various prizes. Jonesy, what was your take of Creator Row and our setup versus some of our colleagues?
I think ours was kind of cool. There were some very cool setups. I think ours popped a little bit with the spinning wheel and the prizes, and yeah, I mean, I had a good old time.
Exactly. What's interesting is the way it works is you can go to the panel discussions, you can go to the breakout sessions, you can go to the formal meet and greet sessions that they have, VIP meet and greets. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But then, for most of the day, from like 9 in the morning till 6 at night, you can just wander in here and meet people from your favorite podcasts because they're all kind of lined up one at a time. And you guys spent a lot more time at the location because I had some other obligations. I think I was there maybe 20% of the time. Is that fair?
Probably
15.
15. Jones is going to go 15.
I thought you were more than that. But I have a question as to the phrase creator. Okay, so
yes.
we're in creators row. So then how, as a creator, am I denied access to the men's room? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
And that's some of your best creation.
Like, you tell the creators, I am the creator, and I couldn't get in to see Ice-T.
Hey, baby, it's Colorado. The whole parking lot's a men's room.
But Joseph, wonderful. And I couldn't get in. We couldn't get into a party.
That was interesting, right? The party that night. I don't even know if I have video.
But but you know what we did though? As we approached to get into the party, we were surrounded by people, well-wishers, taking pictures of us and everything, especially Vinnie. And so we held court, and it seemed as though we were at the party because a lot of people were hanging out outside the room. And I looked at the security guard's face, and she was watching us, and she definitely figured these guys must be something. So eventually we could just walk in, and it was a little later in the party, but nonetheless, she wasn't going to ask us any questions. It was clear that we had some clout.
Well,
Right.
you had the these things you had to wear around your neck, okay, which were badges and stuff like that. And most of them are laminated and everything else. Jonesy and I had the only two paper towel tags.
See, now he's exaggerating, folks. Now he's exaggerating.
Paper towel. That's what it was. It was written with crayon. Okay, that we barely were able to get to our room past security.
You know, the thing about laminates, I've learned over the years, is you wear the main one for the venue, for the backstage, the show, whatever the case may be, and then you could just put on laminates underneath it. The more laminates, the more impressive you look. You could be wearing one for example, this one over here I have from Kiss, All Access. You just wear badges and you put the main one underneath, and you look as though you're the man.
That would be fun. Next time we go, we just wear, because I have a ton of them from all the trials and things. We wear 1,500 badges.
It's in here someplace, you tell them.
Yeah, write that down, Jonesy. Let's write that down.
Okay, I got
another 6 pounds of stuff I got to bring to these stupid things.
So this was the kickoff party. So yeah, we and this is the first day. So the first day, it officially opens at noon on Friday, but this is 3 o'clock on Thursday. And from here, after we set things up, we went to the kickoff party. But we went, just outside in the lobby, and then eventually we migrated our way in, and nobody was busting any chops. So it worked. Let's continue to see what's next here.
The music is great. It's like the Three Stooges, absolutely.
I hear you get a better look at the whole setup.
The Wheel of Misfortune.
If you look at the wheel, so we had the different prizes on the wheel. You could win the true crime, the evidence bag. And by the way, folks, we had leftovers because Al told me on Saturday that we only had a handful of bags left. And then when I got there Sunday morning with Jonesy, we unzipped it, and we still had half of the merch there.
It was a creator's miracle.
No, it was an E3 or whatever you want to call it. So we have some extra merch. So this year,
it would actually be E2. I'm
E2.
3.
You're
I'm
3. That's right, E2. And so some of the bags we are going to be giving out during random podcasts that we have. The wheel is disassembled right now, but I'm going to reassemble the wheel and I'm going to have it here handy for us so we can spin the wheel during different podcasts and give away prizes to random people. So we can make this a regular thing now because we have the wheel. So, and we've got the prizes. So we had bags.
And business cards.
What's that?
And we have our business cards.
Yeah, we have the cards, but those you have to meet us in person for that.
Right.
We have balm. We have Tangent lip balm. Strawberry.
It has our likeness on it. So whenever I gave someone one, I would tell them every time you use it, it's like I'm kissing you, which they'll probably never use it as a result of that.
And it's different flavors. Surprisingly, the
Too
Real
creepy.
Parmesan is quite good. That's the flavor I got.
Yeah. Ashley, one of our mods from the mod squad, asking if any bracelets are left. Ashley put those together.
No,
Amazing.
Ashley.
But the bracelets sold out.
No, they sold out.
Actually, that was a big hit. Thank you very much. I mentioned that a couple of times that it was wonderful. Thank you very much for all you did on that. That was beautiful.
Yeah, they were really cool. My favorite was the one that said Jonesy.
There was a Jonesy one.
Yeah.
And, of course, Ashley Bouchard, a member of our incredible mod squad.
The Mod Squad. Keeping order in the chat. The Mod Squad. Spotting trolls who attack. Oh, Gen X is ready and on the scene. Frankie Biggs making sure they're keeping it clean. And Jennifer Soubey telling haters don't be so mean. And Ashley Bouchard on top.
No exaggeration there. They are the best. Thank you so much. And I think they are with us, first thing Saturday morning. They're missing their Saturday cartoons to help us out. How amazing is that? How amazing is that? All right, let's get back in business here. All right, let me get back to our video.
Looks like we're on Fiddler on the Roof.
All right, folks, I'm here in the well of CrimeCon 2025. I've got golden tickets to my show tonight. I got to give out to some folks. So let's see if anyone wants to come to the show. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got some golden tickets to my program tonight that I'm going to give away right here, right now, randomly. I've got another one. Who wants to go? Who wants to go? Who wants to go to the show? VIP! VIP! There we go. To the show. There goes my eyes. Right here. All right. Can I give any to any men?
Right here.
To a man. I got one more. I'm gonna do it like a wedding.
So at the end there, I threw it like a bouquet and it fell on the ground. And one lady, she just put her foot on it. Nobody was getting it. So,
Hey,
and this, to me, this is a great picture because at one moment I'm like, I'm going to give at least one ticket to a man. Is there a man anywhere? And there were like, I think 3 men amongst the women here. So if there's any single guys watching now, like this is a great place because you will be, you've never been so far outnumbered.
Yes.
Than at CrimeCon. And it's an age of a range of ages. You have some of the young true crimers, many of them sort of, I would say 35 to 55. And then you've got some, in our range. So it was a great mixture, great energy by everyone. And a lot of pictures. Like I took a lot of pictures. Like personally, I took pictures myself, but like posing for pictures. And it's so much better these days. Like if you had CrimeCon years ago where it's all about signing a picture or a headshot or something, that's much more difficult to do because there's got to be the pen, there's got to be the thing to write on, there has to be a hard surface so you can sign it. What's your name again? How do you spell it? And at the meet and greet, I do that, but you have some semblance of order. You're not just walking through the hallways. But here, just getting from point A to point B, getting from lunch to the booth or lunch to the table or going from the table to the men's room, you stop and you meet people. One thing that I like to do that I did, I would like early in the morning, I would go down before starting, maybe because I was still kind of on East Coast time a little bit in the morning. So I was getting up around 7:30. I'm wandering through the lobby and I'd have like, some sweats on or something. And then I would, people are sitting down eating croissants or drinking coffee and just jump down and just start talking to them. And, hey, where are you from? And it was a great way to randomly spend some quality time with people, whether they wanted to or not. I would initiate with them. I wasn't waiting for them to say, hey, Vinny, come here. No, I would just like sit down and say, so where are we from? And get things going. And where are you guys? What are you going to go see today? And that sort of thing. And to me, that is the most fun way to do it, where I am the one ambushing the folks.
What Ben, you remember Monday night I did a little bit of a tribute to you with regards to the way you work a room. That someone like me who hangs out with a lot of celebrities and hobnobs with them and stuff. People come up and ask for autographs and they say no. Ask to take a picture and they say no, I can't. I won't. I'm sorry. Okay, but Vinny doesn't know that word. Vinny knows I will. I'm happy to. And I said Monday night, and I'm going to repeat it here.
Wait. Let me get you, make you larger.
Okay.
This seems like this is going to be an important moment. So let's get you. Ladies and gentlemen, Al Wunsch.
Yes. So I said, like they say, I can't, I won't, I'm sorry. Vinny says, I will, I'm happy to, and I enjoy this. And I say this now. You know why? Because there's no I in Vinny. There's no I in Vinny. All right? He's a man of the people. As we say in Swahili, Chinua Achebe. Okay? Chinua Achebe, a man of the people. And that's it. No I in Vinny. Remember that, folks. And in fact, if you look at his autograph, I don't see an I in it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But there's no I in Vinny. Thank you.
I got a Vinny story that represents, Vinny is very real on the air, but he's also he's very real in person, and but he's on all the time. And by on, he's real, but he's just like fun all the time, and with few exception, if any. But one check-in set the tone for the entire weekend. This nut job, Vinny, is checking in. He gives them his credit card. He puts it in the slot, and he claps his hand, and he spins around and faces the entire lobby full of people who may not know who he is, throws his arms up in the air, and screams, "Yes, approved!" And I just thought that was hysterical.
Except because you forget to mention that the first one wasn't approved because he had the wrong card. The first one came up, and he goes, "Oh no!" Because I had canceled he goes, "I can't believe I have this card in here." And then it was the second one, and it was approved. So that's why there was excitement, because they were about to.
But to share it with strangers like that was just like, it was hysterical.
I did get a couple looks there. People didn't know what quite to make of it. I've been approved.
We've got to mention that we do have extra of these too.
The stickers. These are the official Tangent stickers.
So
you can stick them wherever you want.
Yes, that's like us. You can stick us wherever you want.
We've got to get temporary tattoos next time.
Oh wow, that's next level. That's next level. But I think we'll do it. All right, let's roll some more video here. See what I have.
Excuse me. I'm gonna do it like a wedding.
Largest pepper shaker I ever
Oh! One more for good measure.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Let's do this. Boom, 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 boom. Good stuff.
That's perfect.
Salt and pepper here.
That was the largest pepper grinder I've ever come in contact with, Al.
Easily. I have to agree with you. I mean, that was like a long distance, just unbelievable length in a pepper grinder.
So,
and folks, remember this when you go to a restaurant. The pepper's free, so take as much as you want.
So what did we eat? We went to the steakhouse 3 nights in a row.
Right. We ate there 3 nights in a row. I had reservations 2 of the 3 nights. The second night, we decided we were going to go to the steakhouse again. We get up there. There's like, the woman's like, I'm sorry, you have a reservation? I said, no, I have a reservation yesterday. I had a reservation tomorrow. I don't have a reservation today. And the woman's like, I don't know what I can do about that. And I said, well, let me see what I can do about that. So I try to do the old, hit it with the old VIG.
Right. Well, did you say, does Mr. Washington have a reservation?
No,
Mr. Lincoln?
We had like 15 people, so I had to jump up to Jackson. Okay, so I was like,
reservation for Jackson?
Jackson, no. And she looked at me and she goes like this. She goes, I can't do that. I said, listen, you're not going to embarrass me in front of all my friends now, are you? And she said, "All right, let me see what I can do." And we got a table in 15 minutes.
We got a table.
It reminds me of the Odd Couple episode where Felix tries to bribe John Biner for a parking spot in New York City, and he says, "Will this get me anything?" And John Biner stares at the bill and says, "Yeah, 2 5s and a 10."
But yeah, the food was very good, by the way.
We had three great meals. Well, the first night, Vinny had a tomato salad.
Yes.
I had the Colorado lamb chops, which were phenomenal. Second night,
Wait, Jonesy, did you have the Rocky Mountain oysters? What did you have?
I had 5 tomahawk steaks in one sitting.
and we were drinking Grange at $3,200 a bottle. The second night, I had the dry aged steak. Vinny, you had what?
Tomato salad.
Oh, again. Then the third night, Vinny threw a change up, okay, and had the same thing I had, which was
the fish that wasn't so fishy. Because when I order fish, I don't want my fish too fishy. I want fish that is not. So what was it? It was a one of those. They give it the fancy name, but it's like the bucktooth monkfish, but they renamed it. What do they call it?
They call it the bucktooth monkfish.
Yeah, that's what it was originally called, and no one would ever order it in a restaurant. So they changed the name of it to some fancy name. Sounds like it's a fish that was like
Chilean sea bass.
Yeah, the Chilean sea bass, which is really like the monk tooth fish, which looks like this, but you call it a Chilean sea bass, and all of a sudden it's fancy and everyone wants to eat it. And it was great.
I tried things that I never thought I would. And by the way, our dinners were epic, legendary, hysterical. Table full of like 12 people that each outdid the other with their sense of humor. I mean, it was just a blast. But I tried things that I thought I would never try. I would never think that I would try pork bellies because of the name, pork bellies. So, speaking about the bass like you are, they got to change the name of that because I tried a little bit of it and it was freaking delicious. But there's just something about pork bellies that frightens me.
You should call it we come up with a fancy French name.
Yeah.
If it was the French name for, if it's the French name for pork, it probably would have worked. All right, let's take a look. I've got a little more of this video to show. Good stuff. That's perfect.
Salt and pepper here. Time for another Al One Steak dinner. And look at the table. Tonight, we eat like kings. Here, Kingy. My first dog's name is King Wunch. Tonight, one of you will betray me. It is our last supper in Colorado.
The last supper.
Smiles, everyone, smiles.
Welcome. Yes. Welcome to Fantasy Island. This is some table.
I like a big table.
So we're behind.
Okay, so that was one of Al's big tables. Now, this last thing, this was really cool. So people with a certain badge status can request a private meet and greet with anyone at CrimeCon. So there were some folks that wanted to spend some time with us. And we had never done this before. And we walk into this private room, and I'm like, what's going on here? And then there's all these little rooms with curtains. It's like, what happens behind these curtains? And they're like, oh, no, that's where you're going. So here we are in the curtains, and you go in there, and then you wait for the person who requested the private meet and greet with you. And it was really cool. And like, there's no guidance on how it goes. So like, we didn't know if we were supposed to drive the conversation, or if they were driving the conversation. And it worked differently with the different people that came in, so we just kind of went with the flow. What was your reaction to this whole setup?
Jonesy?
I thought it was really cool. It was kind of strange when we walked in, and then there's the curtain, and we go behind the curtain, and immediately, like, we're thinking, how can we smuggle this pillow out of here?
And eat the food that was in the other room.
Yes, exactly. It was fun. We met some really nice people. Like you say, we went with the flow as far as what they wanted to talk about and such, and it made me feel wanted and special.
All right, let's take a look. I show a little piece of it because I don't want to impede on anyone's privacy in our private moments.
Curtain. So are we supposed to take our tops off or something? Welcome.
And it was a Tangenista.
I love my bookmark. I've already used it.
By the way, can we just talk about Jonesy's outfit here? Like, that is on time.
That is.
Although I feel like I'm in Cuba.
No, you know what I felt? I brought back memories of my junior prom. That was the color of my tux. All I needed was Brenda Martini next to me, and it would have had a real big flashback.
I felt as though, everyone knows you gentlemen from Court TV, and I felt as though, like, a lot of people aren't going to know who I am here. And I always dress up for such events, so I thought I'd make a bit of a splash there. I got so many comments, even when I wasn't wearing that jacket, about it, how cool they thought it was. And the reality of the fact is it was from Hey Band, a mail order company that used to advertise in the back of Parade magazine, and it was like $30 or something like that,
And he got 6 set of keys because they thought he was the valet.
Yeah. So this is the other beauty of CrimeCon. You can have some personal time with whoever you want, and some people chose us. We were extremely flattered and thankful, and
No doubt.
There were great conversations too. Because again, to me, CrimeCon, some people call it's sort of like a get together of the true crime community, both creators and fans and followers. So for them, their experience is one way where they get to see in person and meet, folks like us and others, and then see interesting panels, etc. For me, it's an opportunity. It's kind of like, despite the fact that I was exhausted last week, I was re-energized.
Me too.
To do what we do on this podcast and in other formats and things, and it had my head, the wheels turning in my head on things that we can do. And I know, Al, one thing that you wanted to talk about is the gathering of Tangenistas in our own little thing, which, like Tangent Fest 26, I think is what you're talking about.
Yep.
Why don't you explain that? Because we actually, Gen X was saying we got responses, and we have some folks interested already in a Tangent Fest.
We had such a great time with everybody, and you know what? And this community, and that's what I call it. It's a community. The Tangenistas are just wonderful. And, one of the things that kind of separates us, that makes us a little unique in the podcast world, is one that, we've known each other for as long as we have. 2, we're 3 guys from Jersey. Okay. 3 regular guys from Jersey. And one of the things that made us the way we are is Jersey. And so it'd be really nice to bring you folks to where we live and have an opportunity to see the sites that was so important to us in our upbringing, bringing things up. And, there's so much history in the area, and we can do the Sopranos, we can do mob hits, we can do, like the restaurants that's like, Frank Sinatra would eat at and stuff like that. There's so much history, and it'd be so much fun to sit and break bread with everybody at a big table, like you saw, the kind of table I like to sit at.
Al, I think space is going to be limited. How many bedrooms in your house?
Let's see. Wait, hold on. 2.
I've got an air mattress.
I've got 74. So, so we can.
The way I picture it, Al, is that we have a home base hotel,
Yes.
And then we get the van, the mystery machine, and we go by in the morning, we pick the folks up, and we're gone all day.
Yeah. And we've got and I've already secured, okay, the party room at Don Bosco High School. They have a third floor. It's a restaurant and a bar and everything else. I've already asked if I could bring the Tangentistas there for an opportunity to one, to see the campus, but also there's a great hotel right near there, and we can have a party there with music. We can have a full
Jonesy.
bar and everything.
DJ
else.
Jonesy.
Well, I can bring my rig, and but only if you'll take turns spinning.
Oh, I'll spin a few.
So
I'll spin you, Jonesy.
So we've got a party place, and it's a beautiful, beautiful party room. We've got a beautiful party room in there. We've got an opportunity to hit the sights of Jersey, maybe even a little bit of Rockland County, since we're right over there. There's some famous sites right over the border that are kind of fun to go to, including a closed mental institution, which is really scary. And so there's a lot we can do. And I think, you know what? I want to hang out with people. I want the opportunity to see everyone. And if you're interested, let us know. We're going to get the list going, and it could be a great time.
Yeah, and Gen X brings up a great point. Do we get a discount tangent rate?
Yes, that's of course.
I think it's going to be, the beauty of it will be, it's going to be a very low. It's going to be a low expenditure. Like, you got to get yourself to Jersey, and you get a room, and that's it. Everything else,
it's more grassroots, I think. Than
I would call this more of, it's more along the lines of a meetup, but we will formalize it, and you'll just have to sign a few waivers to get on the bus. That's all.
And
you're not responsible for anything. We are not responsible for anything that happens on the bus.
And at the party that we have, I will take care of the wine. It'll all be donated by me. Okay. And I will take care of the food. All right.
Oh.
So I will do both. I will take care of the party that we have. If Jonesy and Vinny are going to take care of the entertainment, I will take care of the food. We'll have a buffet. There's an outdoor deck we can hang out on in there. There's plenty of room for dancing. There's plenty of room for having a good time. There's the bar. The bar will have incredible wine, and we'll have white and red, and we will, and even champagne.
Yeah, it'll have to be on a weekend.
Yeah, that's not a problem. And
I think,
like I said,
I think it's a kickoff on Friday night. Then it's an all-day Saturday, a Sunday breakfast, and then everyone goes back to town. So I get that kind of a meetup. Obviously, people can stay longer if they want to head across the river to New York. But like, if you go to New Jersey, why would you even go? That's the funny thing about me, and like being in New Jersey. It's amazing how little time I spent in New York City, which was 20 minutes away, where people come from around the globe to go to New York. But the experience we had growing up and doing everything in New Jersey, like, there was so much there, whether it's, the beach, sporting events, concerts, restaurants. Like to me, the New Jersey culture was great. And New York, we would go, nice special treat. It was like a big deal to go there, but it wasn't like we were jumping over the river all the time to live our lives. So, and we'll absolutely have a big kind of true crime undertone in everything, but I think everything is kind of in place that we can make this happen.
I agree, and
we don't need a big crowd. We don't need 400 people.
It would be nice.
400. That's a lot of bottles of wine, Al.
I've got a few in my collection, man.
Right.
I'm not gonna be able to drink them all, so I got to do something with them.
We could take a nice group picture on the steps of the courthouse where Al and I cut our teeth.
That's right.
How great would that be?
Oh yeah, and we can see the gravesite of General Enoch Poor, who was a very, very famous general during the Revolutionary War, and presided over the court-martial of none other than General Charles Lee during the Battle of Monmouth.
And Angel Fire says the double Dutch bus.
The double Dutch bus, yes.
Can we go to the Route 21 projects where Aunt May was mugged?
What?
My Aunt May was mugged on the Route 21 project.
Aunt May, I'm like trying to figure that one out, like from the Revolutionary War.
No,
Aunt May,
no, you were mugged on the beach. You were mugged on the beach.
I was mugged on the beach of Asbury Park. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I've got another file to show folks. This one is going to be pictures. Let's see if we've got
pictures, images trapped in time, as if to say, I was there. I meant something.
Let me get to the CrimeCon.
I got picture postcards.
All right. I think this is the one that has most of the photos, I think. All right.
Hey.
And this is kind of a sampling. This was the show. This was the big show.
So can I say something about the show?
Yes.
Live audience, what a great rush that was. I mean, just incredible. The live audience and everything else. So now, like, I'm with 3 people, you know, who nice people, but don't really know Vinnie and I that well, and the way we react and interact with each other. So I'm in the audience, okay? I'm hanging out in the audience. I'm talking to everybody. And there's this woman behind me hitting me on the head going, "You're in my seat. You're in my seat. You're in my seat. Get him out of my seat." And everyone's like, "Oh, well, he's on the show," and everything else. Well, he's in my seat. So I got thrusted out of there.
It was limited seating.
But
it was
but then,
limited seating.
And then Vinnie did a meet and greet where I walked over and I just was astonished that I got a chance to see him in person and a meet and greet. I said, like, "Oh, Vinnie, I love you. Your eyes are so blue," and everything else. And all of a sudden, Courts TV security came and removed me from the premises. And the women are online waiting, and they're going, "Wait a minute, he's on Court TV." But apparently, Court TV hired some people, I guess, that are locals to kind of staff and things like that. They had no idea. Okay, next thing you know, I'm being escorted out for causing a ruckus.
They're like party facilitators at a bar mitzvah.
Yes, that's exactly
there to get the crowd going. Deborah Demoriak, Tangenistas Rock. Thank you so much, Deborah. All right, let's continue with some of the photos here. And Al was really very aggressive with the suit.
Yes.
It's almost as if he was representing John Gotti.
Well, you know, Vin, I had to do something special, right? Had to do something special. It's a live audience. You know, you don't want to be, you know, in a regular suit that I wear. Or I don't wear a suit when we're on TV, but you know, a regular thing like that. I wanted to show my appreciation to the audience, that I respected it, and I had, you know, a great suit with a wonderful pair of socks.
Fantastic.
My mother still complains about.
Ali 90211, thank you so much for the super sticker. And meanwhile, Alicia saying, Gen X, that's amazing, 2026 in Jersey. So yeah, get ready, folks. We'll have to have a dramatic big announcement when we try to lock in a date here. I think the way we'll lock in the date is we've got to coordinate schedules amongst ourselves and the mod squad.
Yes.
All right. Let's see. What do we have here? All right, let's keep it rolling here. This was, I think this was the photo. This is when we're outside of the kickoff party.
Yes, I think you're 100% correct. Yep, that is the party we were not allowed to go into.
Right, the party we went to without a ticket. This is the whole part of the core of the Court TV crew that was there. To my screen left to me is my executive producer, and then we've got folks from the Court TV digital team, absolutely amazing. And then all the way to the right is my pal Julie Grant, who was there as well. The only one missing there was Matt.
May I say that they were wonderful, sometimes when you guys were engaged with, you know, some other folks that you knew there, they kind of like looked out for me, like took me under their wing, like bought me drinks and stuff like that, kept me company. But beyond that, like I was touched at how passionate they are about broadcasting, which is something that I thought was gone. And I just was really impressed with all of them. They were like such a wonderful crew.
Here's our friend Joe Schmo, who we met out there, who knows, I think he knows that we three are Mets fans who are absolutely suffering.
He followed us around with a Braves shirt all the time.
He had a different Braves jersey, and he got on, I think he was on the TV show when he's live. If you look at some of the photos, he's always got the Braves shirt on. Thanks so much, Joe. Joe, awesome guy. Check out his podcast, the Joe Schmo podcast. He was telling me about a story that he's covering that we've got to put more light on and give a little more oxygen to. It's a tragic story, but it's a story that needs much more attention because there may be something rotten in Denmark happening. It's not from Denmark. I think it's from Oklahoma, but there may be something horrible happening. And Joe Schmo says, I'll take a Braves jersey over Vinny's shoulder for 1,000, Alex. Yeah, he kept popping up with the Braves jersey.
He strategically placed himself. I watched your show, your live show from the hotel room. So I saw it from the television perspective. And he strategically stood behind you with his Braves shirt, so he would be seen on camera.
All right, we got some more photos. We're going to roll through. This is from during the live show, me talking to the audience, warming up the crowd. This is me with some folks that we met.
Oh, my.
And this is me with, she was wonderful. And I interviewed a bunch of people. Not everybody made the air, but because I don't edit everything in limited time. But she was hilarious. There's another shot. I don't see Joe Schmo in this one, but this is us. And what's interesting, I want to point out the people here. So on the show, we had Mike King, the Profiling Evil podcast. Mike King from Utah, a great friend of mine. Met him out in Park City when I went to Sundance. Just a really smart, great human being. And then to his right is from the Prosecutors podcast. And he's an actual sitting federal prosecutor. So he gave us a great perspective on the story as well. Another one of our fans. This was one of our ticket winners to the show. So that was amazing. And a lot of these pictures we took, I think, off of Ashley took off of social media, people posting. So you get an idea for a sprinkling of, hey, I'm walking, I'm talking. There is one picture I have to find that. All right, so this is in Creators Row. And that's the interesting thing. So posing for the pictures when you're at the table, you got to move in and out from behind the table. So I think we sort of rotated who would be, kind of in the walkway, meeting and greeting and bringing people in. And then someone had to be there for the wheel. So it was good. It worked out really, really well. But again, you notice overwhelmingly it's women. This, I believe this is the young woman from South Philly.
Yes.
That I met. And, I talked to someone in South Philly, same age range as me. So we started talking about dance music because, I was in the dance music business back in the day. And yes, she knew the exact music I was talking about. This might be a repeat picture. All right, I'll just let it keep flowing. Oh, did I go backwards? I may have gone backwards.
You did, yeah.
Okay, there we go. Fumble fingers. I've got some great comments. Jennifer Sube, I'm going to check out Joe Schmo. Jennifer Sube. And by the way, we're live streaming on my Facebook, on my YouTube, my Twitch, my X, and a simulcast on the Court TV YouTube channel.
Love it.
Make sure you go over there and become a member on the Court TV YouTube channel. Doing great. All right, we're back to where we were before I messed up the show here. All right, and even this was amazing. Like this is me arriving, going to pick up the rental car, and boom, you're bumping into people. You're taking pictures. You're, where are you from? Where are you coming into town? Oh, amazing! Because 7,500 true crime fanatics all getting together. Some of the T-shirts people had were amazing. I like murder shows and comfy clothes. And there's Joe Schmo.
There he is. Ah.
And this is outside. This was the panel that I did with Tenderfoot. So we were talking about the interaction of media, traditional media, new media, podcasts, and high-profile cases, whether it's a trial or an investigation. And we had Mark Tinsley and his wife. His wife does a podcast. He's the lawyer who basically bankrupted Alec Murdoch and took him down. And then the man I'm talking to right there is Vince Velasquez, who is a legendary ATL homicide detective, retired. He's got what's it called? The murder. He changed the name of it. I think it's called the Murder Show on YouTube. And then one of the producers from Tenderfoot, who just launched the #1 true crime podcast, Wisecrack. So she's the producer of the man who did the live show that we were talking about. But we had a great crowd. Probably like 400 or so in the crowd there. Here's Al working the booth. And here I am at the Court TV booth at my meet and greet. Here I am. Do you recognize who I'm with here?
Let me take a look. I got to see closely now.
I do not.
These are the judges from Judge Judy's Hot Bench show that she produced.
Oh, okay.
And one of them was at Court TV when we relaunched, and that's Yodit, who is to my right. And then you've got two other judges from Hot Bench, which is a syndicated show, millions of viewers. It was great to catch up with Yodit and meet the rest of the crew from the Hot Bench. By the way, I do believe she has a shirt that says, "Don't forget to hug the kids." A lot of people made their own shirts with some of the sayings from the show. Oh, this is another one. You recognize the folks in this one? And I apologize. For some reason, the pictures are a little dark. I don't know why. Do you recognize anyone here?
That's the 3 of the security guys that took me out at the Court TV booth, right?
No.
No.
So we'll start from left to right. All the way to the left, Dan Abrams.
Oh, wow.
Legendary Court TV alum.
Yeah.
Media mogul. Former owner of Law and Crime. He's the founder of Law and Crime. He is the host of Live PD / On Patrol Live. Senior legal analyst for ABC News. And obviously, Jonesy, you knew him at Court TV.
Yeah, the kid's been around the block since then, huh?
Yeah. He's a multi-millionaire now, but still very approachable, good guy. Then it's me. Then next to me is Ashley Banfield.
Cool.
Another Court TV alum, legendary reporter, now on News Nation. And the two gentlemen to the right are the two co-hosts of On Patrol Live, and they have huge muscles and are members of law enforcement with huge muscles. Like these guys are very strong, super nice. Here we are, Creator Row. This was me going around interviewing people, and in the middle of interviewing, doing some pictures. This is the formal meet and greet where I was meeting and greeting people one at a time in the booth, taking the picture, signing a headshot, and signing bags and things like that. And the one other thing about this I want you to notice, I got a lot of compliments, Jonesy, for the shoes and jacket.
Yes, and you were sockless.
I was sockless.
Yes, the blue suede shoes.
They were blue suede shoes, sans socks, which is rare because as a type 1 diabetic, they don't suggest you go sockless for safety reasons. But since I have it under good control, I'm okay with it. This is a detective from Los Angeles, another one of our fans.
If you ever had that problem again, there was the fellow in the booth next to us that gave us some of his merch, and they were socks.
They were socks, yes.
So if you ever forget to pack socks again.
Yep. This is the host of Pretty Lies and Alibis, a guest on the show, great podcast. Make sure you check it out. Her table was around the corner from ours. Checking out some of the questions here. And again, right, this is a good shot here because you get an idea of the number of people. And this is like just all day long, all weekend long, dozens and dozens of people making their way from room to room, back and forth, grabbing pictures and talking to folks. I don't know why the pictures are so dark. That's really got me puzzled here. Anywho, more pictures. That's on stage. That's me laughing. You see right here, taking that whole theme of taking crime and turning it into a good old time wherever we go, the tangents. That's with Vince Velasquez. Some more pictures. There's a Jonesy shot.
Look at that. That definitely looks like The Undertaker.
The Undertaker.
Somebody told me I looked like Hank Williams Jr.
Yes, I was there for that.
And I got back to the room and I looked in the mirror and I'm like, damn, I look like Hank Williams Jr.
Yeah, for sure. And then part of it's the tie, right? It's the tie.
Yeah, the bolo, I guess, but also the beard and the hat.
The beard and the hat, but the tie is the fine. This is Laura Matthias from Hidden True Crime, Susan Hendricks, HLN alum and journalist. And this is Stephanie Harlow, who won Creator of the Year with her partner Derek from Crime Daily or Crime
That's
Weekly.
cool.
Crime Weekly. But I think it comes out more than once a week. I think, but they call it Crime Weekly, which is absolutely awesome. So I'm so glad we got this picture. That's great. It's like me with the celebs, big time. Oh, this moment! Can I tell you about this moment? It's still Thursday. I'm walking down the hallway. I get a text message. Verdict reached in the Donna Adelson case.
Oh, right.
So I grabbed my phone and I put on the YouTube, the Court TV YouTube stream of the verdict, and I'm watching it and I'm noticing all of a sudden there's people surrounding me. So like spontaneously, me and like 20 people are watching the Donna Adelson verdict live on my little phone. Just a classic CrimeCon moment. I mean, that's just not going to happen anywhere else because like everyone was interested and people were like, hey, what are you looking at? I said, the verdict's in. And as soon as I said the word verdict, people came around and we started and we watched Donna Adelson get convicted.
You know, in my line, I call those radio moments, like when you're in a driveway, you can't get out of the car because of a song or whatever the case may be. That was a television moment, but these days television will travel and you can watch it on your device. Everyone crowded around watching it is very cool.
And Deborah Miller, they got the verdict right. No winners in that one. And that comment coming from one of our great fans, Deborah Miller, who is joining us. And this crowd of folks, it was interesting. And if you look, you've got the Court TV digital team recording on their phone, us watching the verdict on my phone. That's 2025 in a nutshell, right? 2025 in an absolute nutshell. Where do we go here? 1 second, folks. I've got to find something. Where is it? Here we go. I've been... Deborah Miller, who was one of the winners in the Tangent Christmas special, won her own theme song. So great to have an opportunity to play that today.
Nice.
Awesome. All right, let's
Nice,
get back
nice.
to the...
Hey, can I share a quick airport story?
Yes.
Okay, so don't judge me on this because I had my reasons, right? But I take a taxi to the airport. Everyone's gone. I get out. I go up to the baggage drop, and as I'm walking there, there's an old couple going by. One has like a walker, and they're going to get there before me. And I'm thinking in my head, they're going to beat me on the line. Now, don't judge me on this, right? She falls to the ground, like for real. She falls to the ground. Everyone rushes around to help her. I can see she's looking up, and I'm looking down at her. I proceeded to get online, and like that seems flippant. Hey, there's the line's opened up, but the reality of the situation is like people are helping her, and I don't want to stand around and like stare down at this lady in this vulnerable moment. So it was kind of a George Costanza moment for me because I saw like, and I didn't go to the line that I was heading for because that baggage handler was helping her and calling not 911 but airport emergency. I went to the next line over. I proceeded, wheeled by, and then went off to the gate.
And they'll know we are Christians by our love. By our love. Yes.
I mean, there was nothing I could do, and I didn't want to gawk.
By our love.
So now that I brought us all down,
always a great story if it starts with "Don't judge me on this."
Unbelievable. Now, Vin,
yes.
Can I give you admitted that you were not at the booth as long as Jonesy and I were manning the booth, not even going to lunch. Okay, I mean we were there from the moment it opened to the moment it closed. We were there. Okay?
Every now and then you'd bring me a coffee. You would head off to get one.
Because the line, let me tell you, the line at the Starbucks and at the other little cafe area was basically from Colorado to Secaucus, New Jersey.
Yes.
That's how far it was. Okay, so I was taking notes and stuff like that as I'm want to do, and it was I came up with the top 10 questions at the Tangent booth at CrimeCon.
Top 10.
Top 10, folks. Top 10. Question 10. Number 10. Does Jonesy bite? Question 9. Question 9. Are you sure he doesn't bite? Question 8. Can you validate my parking? Question 7. Where are your red glasses?
Oh.
Now, I finally figured out that a bunch of people, for some reason, thought I was Joshua Schiffer.
Oh, I thought they thought you were me. I thought they were referring to the podcast.
No, the only person who wears red glasses is Joshua Schiffer. Am I right, Vinny?
Yeah, pretty much.
I had people coming up to going, you don't have your red glasses today. And I'm like, I don't wear red glasses. And they go, yes, you do. And they were trying to convince me that I should be wearing red glasses.
Have you ever considered wearing the red glasses?
No, I have not. Now, I have appeared on the show with Joshua Schiffer, so you can prove that there are two separate people.
Did you? When did you appear with him?
With you, and when I was live when I was in Atlanta last time.
Last time that's right. You came on the live
on the couch.
Studio Think Tank, and Josh was in fact on that night. That is correct.
That's correct. And he's a great guy. I love him. He's a wonderful, wonderful individual. I find him very engaging. I find him funny and everything else. But I'm not him. Okay. So that was one of the questions that kept. There he goes. Do I look anything like that?
I don't know. Maybe let's put you. Let me. Oh, I can't. I can't put you in here. Can I put you in here?
Thank God.
I can't put you in.
Yes, I'm gonna kill myself.
I can put you here. There you go. Now I can get you next to him. The other way. Do you have any red glasses?
I do not.
You don't look like him, but I can see the casual. I can see a viewer making that mistake. They do it all the time. They used to think that my on-air partner was when we would speak on the air was me and I was him, which I despised because I was the good one.
Yeah.
But now we're going to go down to question, top question number 6. Can't I spin the wheel myself?
Yes.
Okay. That was a question that was asked numerous times because Jonesy was the one that was only allowed to spin the wheel because we weren't allowed to have people behind us. And people go, "Can I spin the wheel myself?" And Jonesy said no. 5, the ladies' room is where? 4, who are you? 3, how is taffy imported? Now, for those of you who don't know, we had boxes of Jersey taffy out there, and I kept saying, "You got to have the taffy. It's imported from Jersey." And people were going, how is taffy imported from Jersey? I said, "Well, we got it here before the tariffs." And people looked at me like I had 3 heads. Question 2.
We have 3 heads combined.
That's exactly right. Question 2, would you mind taking a picture? Which was followed by them handing me the camera so I could take a picture of them. And question 1 that we heard throughout the day, where's Vinnie? So those are the top 10 questions at the Tangent booth at CrimeCon, Colorado 2025. Thank you.
Indeed. All right, let's get to some more pictures on the wall.
And as you can see from what I'm telling you about the hand me the camera, what am I telling you? You see me in any of these pictures? You see Jonesy in any of these pictures?
Well, a lot of these are from social media. Yeah. Here's a high five. I did a high five.
It looks like you're dancing.
It does. And here's someone who didn't want a professional selfie, wanted to do it herself. This was a big moment on the show in the 9 o'clock hour. We had Colby Ryan, Lori Daybell's son, and he's on my left, screen left to me, and screen right to me is Nate Eaton from EastIdahoNews.com, the reporter who broke the whole story. But Colby Ryan speaking about his mother, Nate Eaton on the air delivering a message from Colby's mother to Colby, because Colby does not speak with his mother, but Colby's mother, Lori Daybell, does email Nate Eaton very often, found out that they were going to be together at CrimeCon and sent him a message to deliver, and he delivered it on the air. It was a big moment there. Let's see what else we have here. And this was more of the setup. You see some of the standing room. This is in the 9 o'clock hour, the second hour. This is me with Nate Eaton and his lovely wife, who was there as well. And this is one of those lobby pictures, just walking down the lobby, take the picture. This is not me taking a selfie. This is you can see, this is watching the Donna Adelson verdict. So this is someone taking a picture of me, showing them my phone of the Donna Adelson verdict. And here we are at the booth. Jonesy, what's up with the pose? What's the motivation?
Okay, I never knew how to take a picture until years ago at the Court TV morning show. Vinnie told me what you do is you look down at the lens, and I was trying to look down at the lens, but I was looking at the wrong part of the phone, so my head disappeared.
Once again, that was like the Undertaker.
Oh, I went to the wrong spot here. Here we go. Let's keep it going. We're almost to the end of these home movies. There's Nate. And here's a picture of the groom, and here's the groom with the bride's family, and here's the bride with the groom's family. And
where's the cutting of the cake? It's my favorite part.
We should crash a wedding.
Oh, we could do that.
By the way, if any Tangentistas are getting, and here's just a setup of the booth. You see, this was the successful setup. You can see how. One issue that we did debate was the ironing of the skirt.
Yes.
I had an ironing board in my room.
So
Yes.
But no clock and no radio.
I had wanted to do it, but I was basically pashad.
Oh, by the way, we buried the lead here. The big story. So it's like 2 days before we leave, and I'm doing all the stuff for the Tangent House for the Real World Tangent today.
That's right.
And we finally get the address through Verbo, of the owner of the house. So they don't contact us with any information. So we send an email to them. Can you send us the check-in details? Like, is there a code, etc.? They respond with, "Oh, there's a family emergency. We have to cancel your reservation."
So they took the reservation, but they didn't keep the reservation.
Correct.
Exactly. Very good at taking it and holding my money for 9 months. But so they probably got interest on it. But when it's time to actually, and that might be the scam. Like, they just hold your money for 9 months, put it in the bank, make a few bucks. You know, if you do that with enough reservations and you cancel them all in the last minute, like that is, and they didn't contact me for the cancellation. It was me reaching out to them. Now, I feel bad they had a family emergency. Our thoughts are with them.
If that's true.
If it's true.
You know, one of the people who visited our booths, when they asked about the house, and I told them, they suggested the possibility that as it got closer to the date of the event of 7,000 people, maybe they got more money.
Very possible as well. Very possible. Bait and switch. That would be a bait and switch. So we ended up, and then all of a sudden, I'm in a panic mode. It's probably close to midnight, Al.
Midnight, you called, right.
I texted you before I called you, and
Right,
I said,
that's fine.
I said, "Al, are you awake?" He responded, "Yeah, I am now."
No, that's not true. I'm up at that.
You were awake. So then I call Al. I said, "Al, I got some good news and bad news. I'll give you the bad news first. They canceled our house, right? The good news is rooms opened up at the host hotel, so we were able to secure the rooms. So and originally I had tried to get rooms, but they didn't have any. They were none available, which was a lie, obviously. And then they opened them up right at the end, obviously jack up the rate, whatever. But it worked out better because the truth of CrimeCon is and was that I never left the hotel.
Right.
I had to force myself to go outside one morning just to smell the crisp air, just because it was nonstop. And it's a sprawling hotel, but I never left.
It was a
I
blessing.
never left the hotel.
It was a blessing, because it would have been a nightmare to have to try to commute back and forth.
Yep.
And do all the stuff that needed to be done. It would have been a real mess. So it worked out absolutely.
But not only that, a lot of the meeting people and hanging with the people was in the lobby, was after the event, was at the bar, was wherever the case may be. So, being there all the time was actually kind of cool, because the convention and the vibe that the good vibes that we were getting from it went on and on and on throughout the night.
No, it was fantastic, and it was the place to be, and that's the only way I'll do it in the future. Although 26 is in Vegas, and I feel like it's going to be a little different. It may not be, but I feel like here we are at the Gaylord. There's nothing else in the area.
Right.
There's no reason to leave. There's no distractions. There's no other place to go. But if it's in Vegas, there's a million things to do, a million places to go. But the way CrimeCon is, you don't want to. But I wonder if it'll be the same concentration of people, or if people will filter out. They go to see, I don't know, maybe they go see David Brenner. No, he's not.
David Brenner.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Jackie Green.
You go to see a comedy show. You go to
Dean and Jerry.
restaurant. You want to go see this. You want to go see that.
Righty.
But so I don't know if the vibe will be different in Vegas. I think they've done it there once before, but it may have been close to COVID, so it may have been different anyway. But there's so many distractions there that I feel if I went there on a Thursday, I'd be distracted to go to and do other things, or go to a show, or go to a restaurant over here or over
Well,
there.
here's the thing, though. We had opportunities. We had ideas and thoughts on things that we could do, but we just didn't have the time.
We didn't have the time.
All of Colorado I saw was the view from my room, and I couldn't see the mountains because of the haze, and the parking lot. That was essentially it.
I didn't see the Rocky. I had a room that had a rocky view, and
Well,
I had no view whatsoever.
So it seemed to me to be a clear day. It was very nice weather, but somebody told me, "I'm sorry, you can't see the mountains." And I'm like, "What are you talking about? It's all flat here." And he said, "Well, your room, you should be able to see it, but it's too hazy."
Because there's fires. There's fires in the area.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the land was very, very flat.
Yeah, it was like, not what I expect from Colorado.
No, but we were elevated.
I was elevated.
So this is Matt Johnson, Court TV, all the way on screen left. David Scott, Court TV, host of the show Interview with a Killer. Then Julie Grant, and then me. And this was one of the nights. Very nice team photo from the Court TV on-air talent. There was a couple other photos I wanted to show. I don't know where.
Did you notice? Did you gentlemen notice that the hotel was very much like The Shining? And Gina saw some pictures of it, and she said that she thinks maybe it was patterned after that, even though it was built so much later than that historic hotel.
In what way? In what way do you mean?
The long hallways.
Yeah, and the grandiosity of it. The chandeliers, the ballroom. In the bar area.
The dead children twins.
Yeah, the twins. The kid on the tricycle.
Lloyd.
The lady in my bathtub. The decomposed old lady in my bathtub.
And the bartender named Lloyd.
Right.
Momentary loss of muscular coordination. Per second.
Don't go to room 237.
Well, this photograph, I just want to mention, the steakhouse had an outdoor seating area and an indoor seating area.
Yes.
We were that night at the outdoor seating area, and that is by a fireplace that's constantly going. And so just a beautiful, beautiful setting and a great picture, by the way.
Yeah, I have one more photo I want to show.
I don't even recall our being outdoors that first night.
That's the second night.
The second night, it was such a whirlwind.
Yeah, it was the second night.
1 second. I have one last picture I have to show. It was a fun picture that I took.
Did you also notice that we ate so late and so long that every night when they presented the bill, the lights would go on in the entire house immediately?
I hate to tell you, that happens to me at every restaurant. Okay, that happens to me at every restaurant. I'm there. A dinner is a meal to be enjoyed, and I do that. Oh yes,
Come on, Dan, give me a little kiss.
So, you were talking about people came up to you and said, "Oh, where are your red glasses?" A woman came up to me and say, "Dan Abrams, can I take a picture?" So I wanted to go along with it, but I had to break her heart because she really wanted a picture with Dan Abrams. I didn't want her to think that she got a picture with Dan Abrams and was going to go home and show her friends, "Look, me and Dan Abrams," and then it wouldn't be Dan Abrams.
Meanwhile, Vinny was screaming out in the crowd, "Take a picture with Joshua Schiffer over here." That was very nice.
But the first thing you see when you show up to CrimeCon was Dan Abrams, because
All around.
On Patrol Live had their pictures plastered on every elevator, every door, everywhere. So
it was at the entrance to the hotel when we pulled in.
It's the first thing you saw. It was brilliant marketing because you have 7,500 folks who probably all watched Live PD, but may not know that Live PD is back as On Patrol Live on Reels.
Well, the sign claimed that he was going to be broadcasting from there every weekend in September.
Who did?
The sign out in front of the hotel claimed that every Friday night in September, he was going to be there. I don't know.
Wow!
They paid me $100 to wear a sandwich board and walk up and down the lobby.
All right, so we're just about out of time here, gentlemen. But I did want to remind people that you can get some of the great true crime merch. This is one of the new items. It's a not guilty on front. Can you read the back?
Can't see the back.
Can you see the back?
It's kind of hard.
That's what she said.
It's no. What does it say? No, not innocent.
Right.
Oh, so all of a sudden it's like a Britney Spears. I'm not innocent.
Right. So not guilty on the front, not innocent on the back. We've got Al showing us one of the great items, the allegedly line of clothing, and we've got the full Tangenista stuff as well, and it's all available, of course, on. Oh, where is this?
Not that innocent.
Nope, that's not it. Here we go. My bad. All available, of course, on the Vinnie Originale True Crime Merch Shop.
T-shirt and a hoodie, a beach towel and a mug, a new design from Vinnie.
Got to do it again. Sometimes these things stick.
Take two.
All available on the Vinnie Originale True Crime Merch Shop.
T-shirt and a hoodie, a beach towel and a mug, a new design from Vinnie is better than a drug. True crime merch, you know he did it. True crime merch, mark the exhibit. True crime merch, we hate Casey. True crime merch from Vinnie Originale. Our tangent stuff is great, unlike any others. Buy it now, don't wait. Perfect for all you mothers. True crime merch, allegedly. True crime merch, stepped on a bee. True crime merch, it's not free. True crime merch from Vinnie Originale.
Oh, yeah. Step up, get your merch, folks. All right. So this was our first Saturday morning live stream.
No, I think we did.
Saturday morning?
Yeah, I think we did one, but the old show, not nothing new.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So this worked out very well. But I'm going to have a busy day. I've got to get a haircut.
Oh.
I've got to pack for Italy, and that's a programming note that the Tangent podcast. This is like our little fall intermezzo.
Oh.
Because I will not be streaming live from Italy.
You say that now, but I know you. You'll see something there.
Yeah. Especially when I'm in Sicily, I might be able to do a little true crime in Sicily.
Exactly right. Or you might run into some relative of Benito Mussolini.
Yeah. Or I can go to the set of The Godfather. Apollonia! All right, so that's it for me. Al, where can folks find you?
Tonight I will be at the Savannah Bananas game at Yankee Stadium. On Monday I will be on with Vinnie Politan from 8 to 9 on closing arguments. Vinnie, you're on this Monday, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And hasta la vista, Las Angelistas. And I'll be at the Jet game tomorrow. Don Bosco won yesterday, so let's make it a good football weekend for Al. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like anyone knows what Don Bosco is. They
Well, they're going to know when they
every
come
time
to
you
the-
say Don Bosco, they're
I think of chocolate milk.
chocolate milk.
It's the patron saint of chocolate milk.
Yeah.
What?
Jonesy, where can folks find the radio legend?
So there's a big festival concert on the beach in my town, Asbury Park, and I will be on the lawn because I despise the festival, getting loaded, heckling the crowd as they pass by. It's at 7th and Webb, which is right near the entrance. So drop by and you can have a beer before you go in, so you don't have to pay like $19 for a beer.
So you can have a beer with Jonesy.
Yeah.
How about that? You can watch me every night, 8 to 10 on Court TV, your front row seat to justice, live true crime, the only guy on TV doing it night in and night out, day after day, week after week, month after month, and year after year. That's it. Thanks again to the Mod Squad, blowing off the Saturday morning cartoons. Thank you for all the super chats and the great comments. Say good night, Jonesy.
Good night, Jonesy.
A t-shirt and
We got to do it again, Jonesy.
I just did it, and I'm ready to do it again.
This is, you know what happens if I have too many videos loaded up, then they don't automatically disappear. So say good night, Jonesy.
Good night, Jonesy.